Hi, my name is Darren Ryder, and I'll be your instructor for your online sociology course. Now, we're going to spend about 8 to 10 minutes and kind of go through the course and kind of walk you through some of the things that you'll need to know, and then go cover some of the tips and tricks that you'll need that'll help you kind of navigate the course too. Now, a little bit about myself. This is me right here. This is me in the red shirt. Again, my name is Darren Ryder, and this is my 28th year teaching. Now, the last four have been with Sawashko Online, so I've had a little experience in this field too, but the previous years were spent at Cottage Grove Middle School, a little bit at Eastridge, only a couple years at Eastridge High School too. But most of the time, 25-ish years were spent at CGMS. Now, this is my wife of 25 years. This is Penny. We celebrated our 25th year anniversary this summer. The person on my left in the picture, your right, that's Maddie. She is a junior, well, officially a senior at the University of St. Thomas, even though she's just starting her third year there. She's a little bit ahead. She went in with a bunch of high school credits that transferred over to college, and she's actually just passed the DAT and hoping to hear from some dental schools coming up here soon. My son Tyler in the black shirt, he's 18 years old. He just started his freshman year at University of Wisconsin Parkside, where he's off to his new adventure there. And then this is Macy. She's 16. She's a dancer. She's a golfer, and she is a junior at Prescott High School right now. Now, my little buddy that works with me all day, this is Bentley. This is usually how we find him too. He hangs out with me when I'm working from home. He's around me most of the time. In fact, he's right here right now. And he sits in that donut snuggler and kind of just makes sure he's well rested throughout the day. Now, for your course then, here's what you're going to see. Right above this teacher contact and office hour information, you're going to have a small video. Now, that's our Monday morning message. And each Monday, sometimes I send it on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, depending on where we are. But by Monday, you're going to have this Monday morning message. It'll be a video, and you'll also get a Schoology message from me. And it just kind of lays out the week for us, tells us what we're doing, what assignments are due that week, and just kind of walks you through any trouble spots for the course too. So you'll see that every time that you come into your page, you'll see that video right at the start, and it's it's one of those that we hope to get your attention so that we make sure you watch that each week. Now, our teacher contact and office hour information, you see my name, you see my email, you see phone number. Now, here's where the information, a lot of what you need is right here. Now, it's our office hour sign up. So if you're having problems in class, my strong suggestion is make sure you ask right away. Whether it's an email, Schoology message, get an office hour. If you are having trouble, let me know, because I can help you. It's usually really quick. But if there's something that's stalling you, let's take care of it. Now, again, that could be Schoology, it could be email, could be office hours. If it is office hours, we would meet on Teams. And so I have the Teams link right there that's live. And so if I know you're coming in there, I open up that room, you come in, we're able to chat real quick, figure out our problems that we're having, and make sure that we move on. Now, I have our dates and times of office hours there. Those are flexible. I try to do whatever works for you. Now, being online, it's a little different format. And my set hours are during the school day, your 7:30 to 3:30s. But I also try to check at night a couple times just to make sure that if people have questions and students are working on things, that we can get them the sources and the resources they need for that. Now, class and orientation information. Now, you'll start the course here, and what this is going to have is it's going to have your orientation course for all Sawashko Online students, and that's the first thing that you'll do, and then you'll kind of work through our course. Now, you'll see our welcome letter here. You'll see this intro video linked in here. You'll see my bio, which will tell you I've taught 28 years, a little bit of what we talked about, and then you have your syllabus for the course also. Okay, so those all live in your orientation folder. Our resource folder has some basics, just certain resources we may need, some text-to-speech, some tech support, our handbook for Sawashko Online. If you have questions about taking the class pass no credit, it's there. If you're going to be absent, how we handle that. Also, our grading policy as far as homework. When we're talking homework, grading, summative, whatever it is, that's all in our resource folder. Now, that's our 4 folders. And the one we haven't talked about yet that you'll spend the most time in is our current folder. So as we go in there, you'll see when I click on this work completion dates, These dates are all suggestions. Now, we're flexible as far as our grading goes, right? Because of the setup of our course. So you'll see in here it says, okay, we've got our Sawashko Online Orientation to Mod 1 History of Sociology in the United States quiz. Now you'll look, we have our whole unit, or our whole trimester laid out. And you'll notice I have no work done that last week. Now that's on purpose. That's so that students have time to catch up. I have time to grade things. And so when we set this calendar up, just know we go at a little quicker pace to leave those last couple days open to kind of just use that as our last kind of days to make sure that we have the grades in that correctly. People have had enough time to finish items that they may have needed to finish, all that fun stuff. Now, when we see that current folder, then we have our work completion dates. We start with our orientation for Sawashko Online, but then we start right here with this opening day assignment and course tour. Now you'll notice as we go through questions on that, it's going to be saying things like, hey, have you found the intro video? Have you found, and it says, go to the orientation, watch the intro video. That's this, you're there. Okay, so it kind of walks you through some of that stuff. It goes through, talks about our bio, our resource folder, our orientation folder, where you find things. Okay, so it kind of walks you through everything for the course to make sure that you have everything that you need there. Okay, then as you move through the course, when we go into current folder, you're going to see modules. Now these modules, they're little short, I call them mini units. So anything that you see in the blue is what we call a mini unit. Usually after a mini unit, you'll find a short quiz. Okay, but let's jump to the start so that we know we have everything. Now this journal, that is going to be assigned first but graded last. And the reason I say that is because when you go through your pretest, not graded, that's just gauging what you know. When you go into these mini units, you're going to find little modules in here. Now these little mini units then will have a couple different things in here. You'll see that they have vocabulary, they have note-taking skills, how they set up their lessons. They walk you through everything. And on the last slide, it has this journal. Why do we refer to sociology as a social science? Well, you would be able to answer that question in these earlier slides. Then what you do, because we said we start with that journal, then what you do is when you click on that, there's going to be a submit button. When you hit submit, it's going to open it up and it's going to have something in there where you are able to add that link to that Google file. So it's the first thing assigned, last thing graded, because you'll have journals on many of those little mini units at the end. Now, if people struggle getting started, that is typically where they struggle, and that tells me they did not watch the intro video either. Okay, now that's these little mini units. You have your short quizzes, mini unit, short quiz, mini unit, short quiz. Then you also have some short discussion stuff. These are just 1 or 2 lines that you show a little bit of your knowledge on that question. Then you have your short mini unit followed by quizzes. And these are all these short quizzes. Those are all take as many times as you need to. Those are what we call learning tools, where you are using that as a learning tool. If you get some wrong, you can go in and fix them, but it's also helping you with your understanding on that topic. Now, those are all set up for many attempts, multiple, but these exams are set up for only 1 attempt. And so mini units, these little blue ones, those are multiple attempts. Your exams are only 1. Now, these little mini unit quizzes are all in the summatives though, okay, because that's the knowledge that we need. And again, we use those for learning tools. So that's kind of how the course works. So when we go in the current folder, you see we have 5 regular modules. Then we have this challenge. This challenge we go through in depth later, but that's just a step-by-step instruction on a topic. Now you go through and it's the way to look at it is it's one big project broken up into 8 small steps. So you go through and it'll say like step 1 problem part, think about the problem described above, and then you have to kind of work through your situation. So your topic on this one would be homelessness. You'd use these sites and then you'd go through step by step in order to finish those. And some of those steps take 5 minutes, some of them take 15, so it all depends. So That's your modules. You have your mods 5, you have your mod 6 challenge, then you have your semester exam. So that's our course in a nutshell. You have your small mini units that you go through where you have a short quiz at the end of each to check your understanding. The tests or the exams at the end are all set up for only one attempt, and then you have that course challenge and semester exam. So you'll live in this area right here. Again, if you're struggling to get started with the journal right away, look at the last slide on the entries, and you'll be able to go through, find that journal question, collect them all as one assignment, and then you'll turn it in as one. I hope that helps, but definitely reach out if you have any questions, and welcome to the course.